Anything we can't talk about? Like, because I have no. I'm gonna say like black
Outside of
person.
that, I don't really care.
Okay.
You
Is there
know,
any words I can't say?
not really.
I can
I
say
mean, I
nigga.
don't. Yeah, I don't
All right.
really like. I don't like to like censor people or censor myself because
Yeah.
I feel like then you're kind of like lying and shit or whatever
Yeah.
versus being like who you are or like saying
Yeah.
what the fuck you want to say. Me personally, like
Yeah.
I grew up where we weren't allowed to say it, like or whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny because my older brother would be like, if the person's a nigger, I'm gonna call him that or whatever,
Yeah.
but he won't just call any black person that, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He,
I
and
wouldn't.
then
I wouldn't go around saying it.
yeah, me, I don't like
I didn't say it till like sixth grade.
for real.
Yeah. Like I remember because
Yeah,
I was in. Is it recorded?
yeah.
I was in sixth grade and I went home and I just kept saying the word like in my head.
Oh,
I kept on like making references like shut up nigga like
oh
this
my
one day, right?
god.
Like before that, I never used the word. And
Yeah,
then the next day, I called somebody, one of my classmates, a nigga,
yeah.
and he looked at me like, he's like, oh, okay, yeah, yeah, you black. So if it was, if it was a white dude, I would, cause I never said it before then.
Yeah,
And after that, I just kept using it.
me like I was always taught, and I still kind of like come with the same thing. If it's bad, if some another like race says it,
Yeah,
it's still bad. You say it or whatever. To
yeah,
me, it's not really comforting and whatnot. But I really don't like somebody. I'd be like that fucking nigga or whatever.
yeah.
Like I'll say that or whatever, but I
You
won't
still
say it.
censoring yourself right now, so you don't even,
Yeah, I won't say it like as a
yeah,
term of endearment or whatever.
yeah, like
But you
my
know,
nigga.
it reminds me of you heard of what's that show? Good Times.
Yeah,
You know the youngest son. Like one of his most famous lines is, what is it? That's a white racist word or whatever. And he like says it like all like over and over again as like he was kind of like what do you call it, more like on the conscious side when it comes to his family.
yeah,
And he brought in the black Jesus and everything like that. And then it was like their parents was all upset. I think the mom was upset over the black Jesus. And then the dad was all like, no, we need to have a black image of Jesus Christ
yeah.
and everything like that.
I mean, he's most likely would if he did exist, he would most likely be black than
Yeah, or like
brown.
street super
Yeah,
darker skin. Like
yeah,
everybody from around that area, even if it's in the Middle East back
yeah,
then, is more likely darker,
yeah, yeah.
versus like pure white.
I heard like the image you see of Jesus, the white guy with the beard and everything, was
Um,
actually a long time ago. It was actually some mafia guy son or some, I don't know.
yeah.
This is something I heard on Facebook, so take that with a grain of salt.
Well, I heard
Grain of
that. I
salt.
think it might have been Da Vinci. It was some like famous painter who never seen him before
Yeah,
was hired in order to paint Jesus.
yeah.
And he just paint him like the image that was in his head. But it wasn't based off of, I don't even think he was like Christian. He was like, fuck it, I'm gonna make
Yeah,
this dude look cool.
and
You know what I mean?
some guy at Six Flags like, okay. Well, you didn't even introduce ourselves or introduce me.
Oh,
They don't know who
well,
I am.
what's your name?
I thought you were supposed to introduce me.
No, I don't do that. It's funny
That's
because
what Joey said.
I've had
Joey was,
three people on, and every single one has
it,
been like that.
yeah, it does. Like when you're on a podcast on somebody's show,
Yeah.
like even if you're on Stephen Colbert, you're like introducing Grammy Award winning da 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 da. You like give them some big ass introduction, and then they
Yeah.
come out like,
Well, this is Francis, y'all. What's your last name?
man, the feds could be looking for Nyambe. Nyambe, if I'm pronouncing it the
Nyambe.
right way, Nyambe.
Na Nyambe.
Hmm.
It's funny because like I have. Is your name West African? And what part of Africa is from?
Central. I'm from Cameroon, Africa, Douala to be exact. I was born in Douala.
Oh,
Yeah.
what year you come over here? Like, how old were you when you came
I
over here?
came to United States when I was 2 or 3 years old, so
Yeah.
that's probably 1996 or 97. Between it was either 96 or
Hmm.
97. Yeah.
Hmm. I
I grew up in the United States since then.
I knew a good amount of people that like came over roughly around that time period when they were like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
I knew this one guy. He is the dad of my godbrother that passed away. He came over when he was really little, but it'd be cool to actually get his story. But I think his dad actually was part of the military in Ghana.
Hmm.
But then when they changed regimes, they're like hunting people down. And so his
Yeah.
dad was one of those people that had to like skip out the country, if I'm saying the story right.
Yeah.
Um, so that he wouldn't get like hunted down and caught or whatnot, which I thought
Yeah,
was crazy. I was like, whoa, like they literally had to like hop up out of Ghana or whatever
yeah.
because of that. But like I think like a lot of his family members still live there now, but he grew up in New York.
That's kind of my story, but not really escaping from anything. Just the land of opportunity.
Hmm.
Back when it was the land of opportunity, now it's the
Yeah.
land of capitalism. Capitalism,
Yeah.
where like now if you want to get rich in this country, you gotta fucking fuck over everybody else. Somehow get a company and pay them and ship the business to China or some other country
Yeah.
and make money that way.
Yeah.
And
I think that's
not pay taxes.
I think that's one of the craziest thing is how much you have to. It's almost like you have to manipulate other people and like kind of build on other people in order to get where you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
to
step
be
on other
at.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it's a very interesting way to even like get up higher while trying to develop other people too as well. But no matter what, like we live like our existence is competition. Period. I think one of the funniest things was like growing up or whatever when I don't know if I talked about this before with somebody else on here, but
Yeah.
like I like grew up around mostly vegetarians, and then they
Really?
acted like they acted
I
like
hate that.
so. What I think is funny and stupid is like it almost like people associate like being more African with being vegetarian, which made no sense to me after being older because there's not really any place in Africa where people are really like naturally
Yeah,
vegetarians.
we're mostly like fruits and definitely
Yeah, but it
animals.
was
Yeah,
like like you're not really fine where not or whatever. And I can see maybe like animal like activism or whatnot, and then
yeah.
like the hormones in animals, but there are hormones in plants too as well that are
Hmm.
just as bad. And then people will be like, "Oh well, not killing a living creature. Plants are alive too." And just because it doesn't
It's
have a face doesn't mean it
yeah,
doesn't get sad and shit.
yeah. The thing about vegetarians is they can't just be vegetarians and leave the rest of us alone.
No, they're
This
fucking
is like,
trolls.
dude, like if you like eat your vegetables, right? Eat your greens, but don't try to say like, oh, you're better than me because you're eating plants or grass or whatever the fuck they eat.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like you should have a balance,
yeah,
even though I'm not doing that because I don't eat as much greens as I should. So
yeah,
I try to eat some fiber, like
yeah,
fiber protein type shit.
yeah,
So, but I mostly like meat, fruits, dairy.
yeah,
What's the other food groups?
yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but I kind of skip the greens. But
Yeah.
I do love fruits though.
I like if you say greens instead of vegetables.
Yeah.
One of the guys I learned like gardening and stuff from growing up, he was a rock farmer, and he used to say there's no vegetable
Hmm.
because vegetables are just veggies on a plate, but there's no part of a plant called a vegetable. You have a root, you have the stem,
Yeah.
you have the leaf and the leaf, the leaves and the
Yeah.
flower, but there's no vegetable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
The
he,
English, the English language is kind of funny.
yeah, it's kind of stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that
Like
are just like
Kansas and
retarded.
Arkansas. Like this is Kansas. Like the AR will make Arkansas if you add it to Kansas. So
Oh,
you
for
call it.
real?
You didn't notice that?
No.
I saw this video of this Asian lady. She was like, "Why is this Kansas and this one not Arkan, Kansas?" She was like, "America, explain." Now every time I work at QT, well, you
Yeah.
know that, and every time I look at somebody's ID if they're buying alcohol or something, he'll say Arkansas. Like, oh, you're from Arkan, Kansas. And sometimes they'll get the reference. So I just call it Arkan, Kansas. Like, why the fuck is it called
I,
Arkansas?
I just saw that in my head.
Yeah,
It totally is like that.
yeah, yeah,
And I don't feel so like stupid because like well I'm kind of dyslexic or whatnot,
yeah.
but like words to me did not fucking make sense growing up, and so
Hmm.
I mostly memorized how to like spell shit versus like try to like understand because
Yeah.
there's so many like double layers. It's like you do this one way, but then you do this word a different way. And
Like
like
sugar. It's like the only word that has SU in it. SU, that makes a sh sound.
for real.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah, sugar.
and you would think it'd be like what sh
Yeah, or yeah, yeah.
like show that.
Thank you, Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah. That reminds me of you watch any cartoons?
Oh, we should. Hell yeah. You ever watch like BoJack Horseman
Yeah.
or The Boondocks or
Yeah, BoJack Horseman.
you
Like I
watching
had to
it?
stop watching that because this shit is depressing as fuck.
Dude, what season you got to?
I think I got to every single one of them, but like
Really?
every single fucking season, he goes through some type of emotional turmoil. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
And so, like, in a way, that's like very similar to life because, like, I don't know. I feel like I've had seasons, or I know a ton of people that have seasons
Hmm.
where they go through that emotional turmoil. But
Yeah,
it's like his is like so fucking elaborate, where he's always drinking, he fucks shit up,
yeah.
and it's like, holy shit, what the
This
fuck, you know?
I feel like I can relate with him on some level because um, he had a father figure that wasn't, the best.
Yeah.
I'm kind of same
Hmm.
situation, and
Is your father over here, or
he's here,
yeah?
United States, yeah. But just growing up like that, and just that harsh situation. I mean, you
Mm.
can kind of see yourself like fucking shit up. Like me, I feel like I'm a fuck up.
Yeah.
I feel like I have so many regrets. That's
Yeah.
everybody else.
Yeah.
And they say live without regrets, but it's like shit. You're like just thinking like all the shit you fucked up
Yeah.
on. And like you seen the episode Free Churro? It's like the one of the most streamed episodes. It's the one where it's like mom he's talking at his mom's funeral.
I think so. But it was a while back. I haven't watched the show in like almost a year.
Like
What happened in the episode?
so in the episode he's at his mom's funeral
Hmm.
and he's speaking a eulogy and the whole episode is just him telling a eulogy
Yeah.
and he just keeps on re-saying the phrase "I see you," and it just and he keeps on wondering like because that was her last words to
Yeah.
him is "I see you," and then she dies and he keeps on thinking about it, like what does that mean, like "I see you," maybe it's like maybe it's a, "I see you,"
Hmm.
you know like you might have everybody else fooled but I
Yeah.
see you.
Yeah. I see what's going on in
Yeah,
there.
but at the end, spoiler alert, um, he realized they were in the intensive care unit,
Hmm.
and she was just reading a sign, "I see
See you.
you,"
Oh.
and basically he was saying how human beings we can see a moment
Uh-huh.
and or on a TV show or movie and be
Hmm.
like, oh, maybe this right here is to signify
Yeah, it's a
da da
sign.
da da.
Like the,
Yeah, but when somebody says "I see you," maybe it's just "I see you."
yeah.
You're an object that's crossed into my
Yeah. Path.
yeah,
Yeah, or like it's not even them seeing you; it's them seeing the fucking sign. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I feel like that happens a lot where we like assign way more meaning to stuff that might not even be there. You know
hmm,
what I mean? Especially when we have an emotional tie to something too, especially a person. So sometimes then we might perceive somebody doing something as bigger than what it is or as less than what it is. I feel like I've had that issue. I had that issue dealing with like women or whatever, where I overthink either
uh,
one way or the other way. I'm not saying that isolate in terms of me, but it's like because I had so many issues with them,
yeah,
it was
same.
like one little thing, I'm like, oh fuck, they don't like me,
You,
or oh shit, like oh, they don't see me or whatever, this, that, and the other.
mm,
But I feel like a lot of times, if I was a lot more chill or whatever and didn't worry about it, it would have caused me a lot less emotional and mental turmoil over
yeah,
shit.
yeah. I went through that with my ex. Like, do you remember the first time you got your heart broken?
Um, I remember the first crush I ever had. What the
Oh,
fuck?
that is so unprofessional.
I
Let,
thought I put it on
let me
silent.
make sure mine's on silent too.
So the first crush I ever had was an
I know my
older
first kid.
girl.
Yeah.
Her name was Amabia, and she was one of my older brother's best friends. So she was like 5 years older than me.
How old were you?
Um, I think I was like 5 years old. Well, it was funny because her and her mom used to like babysit me too.
Hmm.
And so like that was like the best thing ever. It was
Yeah.
whenever they would like take me with them, or I would
Hmm.
ask to drive with them back from places
It
and
sounds like a
stuff.
porno. Like you gonna smash them every time. Too much babysitter.
That would have been like beyond
Yeah.
child pedophilia, though. If
Yeah.
she did anything, even if she was like 10 and I was 5 or whatnot, that shit,
Yeah.
that,
I
that
mean,
shit is
shit.
still,
I feel like everybody's been molested as a kid. I mean, shit.
yeah,
If you haven't, then you're one of the lucky ones. Everybody's
yeah,
been in a situation where it's just like, It's like, oh wow.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
where it's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't
Everybody,
never.
you got that cousin where something happened, but y'all never talk about it. Happened like
Oh.
20 years ago. Like, hey, what's up?
It's so messed up because
Yeah.
like I know like the majority, like a lot of the girls that I've talked to before, even if it's not like me trying to talk to them like that,
Yeah.
they've had like some type of story of some type of family member that tried to do something with them, which I'm
Yeah.
like, that is extremely fucked up. And like for me as like even like a jujitsu coach for
Hmm.
kids, I tried to not make it seem like I'm doing anything with
I
them
feel like
whatsoever.
if you have that, if you're thinking like that,
Uh-huh.
then maybe like you might accidentally do something. But if you're just like, fuck, I'm showing this kid how to do
Yeah,
this.
I don't try to do it like think about
Yeah.
it when I'm like with them, but then I try it in my head. I'm just like,
Or the parents are like, what the
yeah,
fuck you doing? Hey, get
yeah,
the fuck off my kid.
yeah.
Like, don't
I
get up.
never like there's certain positions I won't like be with them or whatever
Yeah.
on the mat just because of the fact that they don't understand jujitsu yet or whatever.
But
And
yeah.
I didn't want to make turn this into a jujitsu thing. But if
Yeah.
they don't understand jujitsu, they're going to perceive it the wrong way and feel it the wrong way. So then, it be something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I'd rather have like another girl do it with them or this, that, and the
You
other
got
at
Jackie with
first.
you, right?
Yeah, but she didn't really teach the older kids with us.
Oh,
But we have like a good amount of like the funny thing is with the kids, a lot of times the majority of classes be like girls, which is wild to me. It's
yeah.
like there's a shift though where like the older classes is
Mhm.
majority dudes, but the younger ages it's like a lot of them be like girls. Even though the little ones now is like mostly boys.
Yeah. I don't even think the kids are even thinking like that because the kids, their mind is just like, oh, we're just having fun, da da da. So they're not thinking like, oh, this is weird, da da da. It's
When you
mostly the
hit
adults.
preteens though,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, like
yeah.
preteens,
They're
teenage
watching porn
girl.
already.
Yeah, they're introduced to way too much shit nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, because you got to think about the music we're listening to, the same music they're listening to. You
yeah.
know, as adults, we're thinking, oh, they're watching Blues Clues or whatever.
No, they're
Shout
fucking
out to
not.
Steve, by the way.
Yeah, I used to fucking love the Blues,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, they did expose I think to way more, and then that. So like one of the differences too is like they don't have like we didn't have like smartphones growing up or
Yeah.
whatnot.
Oh
Porn was
yeah.
like mostly like magazines and like
Yeah.
VHS tapes, and they used to be. So Joe Rogan was talking about how porn used to be majority sold through hotels,
Yeah.
right? And it shift from people mostly accessing it
Mhm.
from hotels to now on your phone.
Mhm.
Because on your phone you can watch that shit
Mhm.
whenever you want
And on
to.
your computer too.
Yeah, so it's way easier to get addicted to that shit because you have readily access to it, and it takes like a fucking like people be having their kids have phones when they're
Yeah.
fucking 10 years old, which I think is stupid as fuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
But it's easy. Like, well, you know, even younger, like when they're like 3 or 4,
Yeah,
because it's easier to put a screen in front of them
yeah,
and
distract them,
yeah, distract them, and then you can do
whatever
whatever
you
you want.
need. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it takes like one let's say like you're a parent and you fucking watch porn. Not
Yeah.
saying you shouldn't, whatever. But
Hmm.
that kid goes into your history by accident and
Yeah.
clicks on some
That's
shit,
like,
and it was like,
supposed to be
oh, my fucking
fast.
hormones done kicked in now. And your fucking baby
Yeah.
has
I
a
remember.
fucking boner.
You remember the first time you watched porn?
uh, I
Like,
think I was like 19 years old
you
actually.
was 19 the first time. God, I wish I was 19 the first time I watched porn.
I was like what do you call it sheltered a lot, and so I didn't. My first girlfriend introduced me to a lot of shit I didn't even know
Damn.
about. Like I didn't know what a fucking blowjob was, and then she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Wait a minute, I saw that on a mafia movie."
Bro. So the first time I watched porn was so when I came to the United States, right?
Mhm.
My dad was already here before
Yeah.
my mom came. So my dad was here, and then I came, and I have 3 other brothers and 1 sister before they came, and my mom and everything.
Wait,
I,
so how many siblings do you have?
I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Are they all older than you?
They're all older. My sister was the oldest out of all of
Damn,
them.
you're the baby. That's
Yeah, I'm the
crazy.
baby.
My bad. You're bad too.
Yeah, so this is me and my dad, right?
Mhm.
So back kids in the night. Well, you said you were sheltered. Well, kids in the '90s,
Mhm.
we couldn't. A lot of our parents couldn't afford babysitters, so parents would just leave you at home would turn on the TV,
Mhm.
and you're like 5 years old in the house by yourself while your parents at work, no babysitter, no supervision, just sitting in front of Nick Jr. So I go with my dad's when to watch TV, right?
Yeah.
My dad had a porno tape
Uh-huh.
in the VHS. For you kids who don't know what a VHS is, look it up.
Is that box?
So I'm like, oh, what movie is this? Oh, I love watching movies. I press play, and all I see is this dude laying on a kitchen counter,
Yeah.
flat, while this girl was riding him, and she was wearing nothing but some high heels. I'm telling you, this scene was tattooed in my brain. I'll never
Yeah.
forget this scene. He was wearing Timbs,
Yeah.
like he was wearing Timbs. I was like, to this day, I said one like, I don't know how people wear shoes while having sex. It's
Yeah.
weird. I mean, unless it's like a quickie out on the road. But
Yeah.
anyways, like you're at home and you're just still wearing shoes. But anyway, she's riding him, and I didn't know what a vagina was. All
Yeah.
I knew was what I had. I didn't know what
Yeah.
women had. And she's riding him, doing her thing. I'm just like, where's this dick going? Like, usually it's not going in her ass. I'm just like, where's this dick going? Like, and then from then, like, I always go to my dad's room.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god, it's porn.
You know what's crazy? So like,
I used to call it sex movies. I didn't know before.
a dad story, same thing. All right.
Yeah,
So this is how my dad explained what sex was
yeah,
to me and a group of boys, because I did like this rites of passage program when I was like 16, right?
mhm,
And so this is how he explained it. He said a monkey, right, like shiny things,
yeah,
and they say a monkey sees a gourd and there's a shiny thing in the gourd and he sticks his hand in the gourd, then he gets his hand stuck in it.
yeah.
And we all was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, we were like, what?
I kind of see what's going on with this.
Yeah. But I think he was talking about in terms of like, you go in or whatever, then you can get stuck because you get the person pregnant. If
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
being stupid, don't like use protection or whatever.
Yeah.
Like you fucking get the person pregnant, then you like in the part of you is in that gourd or in the what's like in her,
Yeah.
from now on. But like that, like the way like, I actually figured out what that was referencing was I went to mostly like private schools that my dad taught, right, for
Yeah.
a period of time, and there was an anatomy poster
Yeah.
on the wall, and so it had an anatomy of a woman right next to a man, and
Yeah.
I was looking at it and I was like, oh shit, that
Nice.
goes into there.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I was like, that's how it works. That's how I figured it out. Like, it was just putting like one and two together. And then I
Birds
was
and
like,
bees.
yeah, and the light like went off or whatnot. And then what confirmed it was one of the guys I knew was like, you put the key in the keyhole.
Mhm.
And then I was like, damn, but it's so funny. But like all the other stuff though, like the intricacies and shit, like yeah,
Yeah.
I did not like know that
Unfortunately,
for
I
a
learned
while.
about sex a little too early for even my comfort,
Yeah.
honestly. Because once you learn about it early,
Mhm.
all you want to do is
Yeah,
progress.
dealing
You
with
know what I
it.
mean? I
Yeah,
was like, oh my god, la, la, la,
yeah,
la. It was like for vaginal, then anal,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
like busting on a girl's face, and
yeah.
then eventually, like you see how you laugh. You see how you're laughing at that. Eventually, like you become numb to all that shit.
Yeah.
It's just like what? And then I don't know if you seen the episode of South Park when there's when do you watch South Park?
Yeah. I
There's
love
this
South Park.
there's this episode when they like the internet decided to stop for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, with the
Yeah,
dad,
yeah,
and the
the
dad
dad.
was like
Yeah,
going, yeah,
yeah.
and
He was talking about
his porn shit was like way too far.
yeah. He was watching like Brazilian like throw up shit.
Yeah, and then he said some like Japanese, like tentacle alien, like fucking shit
Yeah,
too.
yeah. It was really some fucked up shit.
And like
And
the
then, like,
funniest thing, well, my
yeah.
bad.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
The funniest thing was when they try to do like the makeup, like they try to do the drawing porn for him, and
Yeah,
like that thing,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they
I
put up
remember that.
drawings, and he was
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is this?"
He was just like, all right. It was like, bro, like porn is a great invention because there's some people who don't want people to jerk
you
off
know,
to control them.
yeah.
Like I don't know if these alt-right people
Uh-huh.
or I forgot the names of them, like the groups and shit like that. Those people are on the way far right.
Mhm.
They sorry, I got distracted with but they don't want people to jerk off because it makes them more. You have that pent up
Yeah,
anger.
energy. Yeah,
Yeah, pent up anger and aggression, and then they give you something to
release it.
no, they give you something to have that anger towards
Yeah.
is, oh, this person over here on the left is trying to take away your right to have
Oh.
guns or da da da. That's
Yeah.
why. That's why they don't want them to masturbate so they can make them madder and
Yeah.
angrier. Because you ever notice like after you bust, you're like,
It's a
oh,
lot more chill.
yeah,
Yeah.
chill.
I think not only that is like I think it helps you make better decisions with women too.
Yeah,
Because like you can be really
definitely.
into a girl, right? And if like it's like hormonalized, and then you not think whether or not this is a smart shit to actually be fucking with or
Yeah,
whatever. But then because you're like so fucking into your head or whatever,
yeah,
like because your hormones or whatever about this shit is so fucking wild. If you don't butts before actually engaging with her,
hmm,
you're not fucking thinking right. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You're like thinking with the wrong fucking head. And
yeah,
so like me, I'm like I forget who I heard from at first, but it was like yeah, before you go on a date, like bust one out.
yeah, yeah,
And not
yeah.
just so
Jerk
that
off
you,
before you want to.
yeah,
Yeah,
so you can fuck and be like, oh, hey, is this shit actually somebody I should be fucking with, or am I just fucking like having a hard on for it? You know what I mean?
you ever been catfished before?
Oh yeah,
So let me tell you the story. I got catfished. It was this chick I met on Facebook dating. This was like a year ago,
mm,
and so we were talking on the phone. You know, first, you know, da 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 da
yeah,
da. You know, exchanged numbers. We were talking on
yeah,
the phone. We were talking on the phone for like an hour, and personality wise, everything was good. I
yeah,
saw her picture. She was, you know, she looked, you know, kind
yeah,
of slim waist, you know,
yeah,
big tits and everything. And we're like, you know, we need to meet up. Da 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 da. I'm like, all right. I'm, we meet up and everything, and I was just like, wow, she is way bigger than her pictures. I was like, yo, like, how old are those fucking pictures? I was like, fuck. All right. She was actually a virgin, by the
yeah,
way. Virgin to men. She's been with women, but
yeah.
she's a virgin to actually having, you know,
With dudes, yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So I'm her first dude. She, you know, she's, you know, gonna be with.
yeah,
So you know, we go on a date. I don't even remember where we went. I just remember taking her back to my place, and we do. And I don't know if I should go into. Can I get into detail or? Okay. So, anyways, yeah. So, you know, I'm on top of her and everything, and she has one huge tit right here,
yeah.
and one tit that's way bigger right here. You
Like
know
one
how.
side titties.
Yeah, yeah. But like you know how men are one's ball hangs lower than the other one, or one
Yeah.
bigger than the other one, and usually women one tit bigger than the other one. This one is like a bowling ball
Yeah.
compared to a grapefruit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That shit is weird.
Yeah. And when I was like, you know, sucking on this titty while I'm
Yeah.
smashing her and
Yeah.
everything, and she was tighter than a Fort Knox, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, let me go to this titty over here, but her nipple is like underneath the titty right here. I was like, bro, I'm
You
like
trying to like
trying
find
to
it?
yeah, trying to find it and
Yeah.
everything, trying not to make it look so obvious. And I remember saying a lot of stuff to her right before we even started fucking. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
And after I nutted, I was just like, I don't know if we ever gonna see each other again. But
Yeah.
I didn't say that to her, but
Yeah.
I just kept on the lie. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, don't get catfish, guys.
Yeah.
That's the more of the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit is retarded. I had this one girl, whatever. I met up with her. It was like at a one of those Dragon Cons, and she was like ugly as fuck. And like this is a completely opposite. Like
Yeah,
I didn't want to tell this to her, but I was like, yeah, we can't be together because I literally would not be able to get boner with you. Like I don't
yeah.
care what you do, but you're so fucking. I'm
Was
so
she black or white?
not. She was white. I was like, I'm so not into you that like not, that happened with a black girl too.
Was it her teeth or her nose?
It was her whole fucking face. It happened with a black girl too. It was her whole fucking body. I was just like, ugh. Like I
Yeah,
can't. And like this, I'm trying to be nice or whatever, but
you don't seem like the type of guy that would just like say, you know, you're this and that.
no, I try not to do that. You know,
Yeah,
I think like all growing up, I always was like a little bit shyer and more timid, and then also because I had so much bad luck with girls, I think I went in the opposite direction where I was like too nice to them and shit.
hmm,
And now I'm like I'm like I'm trying to become less caring when it comes to people, period, you know? But
hmm,
not like being a fucking asshole, but just be real with people and everything. But I have to be real with myself or whatnot too. And so like when it coming to that girl or whatever, I like both of them I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna like it's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
it's like if it's crazy. Like if you're so like if I'm that much not attracted to you where I can't even like be thinking with my dick and be making a dumb decision with you,
Yeah,
there's nothing that's gonna happen. You
yeah.
know?
But sometimes, like, when you just hard and you like see a girl and she's not that attractive, you just like, hey, what's up? You try to make them feel good,
Yeah.
and I feel like on some part of their mind, they're kind of like, this ain't going nowhere. At least I hope they're thinking that. Some
Yeah.
girls, oh man, I was in this one situation where this
Uh-huh.
girl thought I was her boyfriend and everything.
Yeah.
I remember,
Oh yeah, that ugly girl. She was like talking like I want to be her boyfriend. I was
yeah, go
like,
ahead.
she tried to hold my hand. I was like,
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, let's just have fun. Like that's a great way to say it. Let's have fun. Or I'll say something to him like, I just want somebody I could be intimate with and also be, in a friendly situation with. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I'm not saying it's a better way than say I want a fuck buddy. It's
All
just
right.
saying,
Yeah.
somebody I can just be intimate with and
I just need a companion right now. I can't do nothing serious because I have so much shit going on. Like I have
yeah,
so much stuff to work out with myself mentally. You know what I
yeah,
mean? But
exactly.
like if I have a friend, that's there, and both of us, like you got needs too.
Yeah,
So yes,
exactly.
yeah.
Or they'll say something like, "Yeah, but I'm in school right now." I'll just be like, "Hey, girl, I'm not trying to be a distraction. I don't want you to, stop working for me or anything like that.
I'm not trying to be a distraction.
Yeah, I'm not. I just want to be that
Yeah, that
bitch."
is. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, bro. We're not gonna listen to this podcast.
I don't know. I wonder how many like actually have listened to it outside of like my freaking mom. But I'm gonna tell my mom. You might not want to listen to this one.
Yeah, don't listen to this one.
Um, or like my sisters. I wonder what other women that have actually listened to it. But it's crazy. I think like even Joe said like majority of podcasters that like people that listen to them are actually dudes anyway.
Yeah,
You know?
it's mostly like women only listen to other women podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't think women like hearing other men talk.
Yeah.
Most women don't.
And I think the majority, like, he was also talking about too, like, majority, like, even TV shows, they're
Hmm.
like major, like, they're mostly dominated by women. Like, TV shows and shit, especially talk shows, are
Yeah.
like dominated by women, unless it's some dumb shit like the Jerry Springer show and stuff. You know,
Sure.
like no dude is gonna be making that Oprah money. You know,
Yeah.
it's gonna be another woman. You know, so like
Yeah. Like
dudes,
Ellen was making. Like Ellen, she was 100 millionaire. She was making like,
a
oh, oh,
hundred million.
yeah, she was
Huh?
like $600 million, something like that. She was
Damn.
making stupid amount of money. I'm just
Off of
like,
it.
how are you making that much money from just
Yeah.
talking and I just the advertisement? I'm just like, what's but
I'd say something probably controversial too, in terms of like Ellen was one of the first woman who like tried to dress like a dude, who
hmm
made me believe that girls can't look like dudes by trying to dress like a dude. So
yeah,
like a lot of them, so a lot of them they'll try to dress like a guy or whatever, or
yeah,
like put their hair like a guy. It's funny because when I was a teenager, I was like, "How you trying to look like a dude and you're matching?" Like they
yeah,
always be matching clothes.
yeah,
They always be walking like they're trying to walk like a guy. And I'm
yeah.
like, by trying to walk like a guy and you're not just naturally walking, you look more like a woman. Too as well.
I
And I'm like,
noticed
you
that.
still like, and a lot of them be like still cute as fuck. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like
Which
a
is
stud.
fucking wild. Yeah.
Yeah. I've always had kind of a problem with studs,
Mhm.
like the tomboyish lesbian girls.
Yeah.
For some reason, like I work in customer service. Like if they're there with their girlfriend,
Hmm.
they act a little extra masculine around
Yeah.
me because I'm kind of a big guy.
Yeah.
So they're always like, "Hey, yeah, da, 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 da." And I'm
Yeah.
just like, "Yeah, do all that
Yeah.
shit." Like I'm not trying to take your girl. Like she ain't even
Yeah.
that cute. Like what the
Yeah,
fuck?
they try to like it's like they try to pull out a persona like they a dude that
Yeah,
much more because they're not a dude. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But it's like if I'm a dude, I can just naturally be a dude. I don't have to do
yeah,
extra shit. And usually the dudes that do extra shit are like how they say like what is it? The dog with the bit is bite is usually the bitch or whatever.
the dog with the what?
No, it's similar. It's like you don't want to fuck with a doll with like a doll would have a smaller dolls bark harder,
Yeah, yeah,
versus bigger dolls. Bigger dolls know they can really fuck you up. They
yeah.
don't have to bark at you. You know
Mhm,
what I mean? So like
mhm,
the more you bark, the more like I'm not worried about your ass. But
mhm.
then you see somebody, a dude, like
They just
calm, cool,
chill.
and collected or whatever, and he
Mhm.
like look like he might know some shit.
Yeah,
I don't fuck with that person more
yeah,
than I fuck with somebody that's
yeah,
all loud and
yeah.
chest pressed out. I mean, we did a lot of those dudes that come in, and I'm just
Really?
like, dude, just chill out, you know? Because you don't make yourself look tough or whatever. You just make
Do we really
yourself look
get
like
those
a
type of
bitch.
guys? I really haven't seen nobody that acts like that. Well, then again, I've only been here for like a year and some change. But
We do like sparingly or whatever. They don't really last that long because their ego get hurt a lot more, you
do they
know?
come to the jujitsu or Muay Thai and stuff?
I know some that come to jiu-jitsu, some like I had a few at Muay Thai where they're like, yesterday they start to be able to spar,
Hmm.
you know, and like they'll like come like try
Hmm.
to come hard or whatever. Then they realize they can't really take the hit, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? And then they start like, oh shit, you know.
yeah.
And it's really like the most annoying thing is when people come in and they act like it's not like a martial arts where you have to learn in order to be good. They
Hmm.
come in thinking they want to beat everybody. Or the people that come in and they automatically get in the front of the line. Like if I'm the first person somewhere like this, I don't
Hmm.
want to be in front of the line in
Yeah,
a jujitsu class.
yeah,
Just trying to stand out. Like I'm automatically like the fucking alpha
yeah,
male. What's the point of being there if you automatically can beat everybody there? You
yeah.
know?
I remember my first class. I kind of already knew a little bit about jujitsu. I went by
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan. Um, oh, yeah, I'm talking about my journey to jujitsu real quick.
Dum
I,
dum dum.
I've already I've been a fan of it for a long time, right? Well, to talk about jiu-jitsu, I have to go even further back and start when I started working out.
Mhm.
So I started working out in 2015.
Yeah.
I went to the gym with my mom at LA Fitness, and I just started doing it, just to stay in shape. I
Yeah.
was lifting, I wasn't really seeing results until like 6 weeks into it.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was like, "Hey man, like you looking pretty good." I was like,
Six
"Oh
weeks
really?"
ain't that long though, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was just like, "Oh, okay, thank you."
Yeah.
And then like it was like I fed off of every compliment. Like I
Yeah.
was like, all right, yeah, shit, let me get back in the gym.
Yeah.
I wanna keep going. Like da da da
Yeah.
da. I started lifting da da da,
Yeah.
and I just like all I would eat would just be like meat, and I would drink some
Like protein shake.
yeah,
Yeah.
like core milk or some the shit you find at Quick Trip and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few years into it, I started getting into jujitsu, but like just watching the
Mm.
videos and listening to Joe Rogan and stuff. And I was just like, damn, I really gotta get into it. But then I learned like if I do it, I can't really keep working out because I can't really do both. And I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, I love the gym.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not there, I'm thinking about being there. So
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, well, I ain't gonna do jujitsu.
Yeah.
And then got diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
Went through chemo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go through all that, but
Yeah.
went through chemo, went through surgery, in remission, all that shit. I started to get back in shape, started going back to the gym again, started
Mm-hmm.
working out. Uh, 2 years later,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, let me try jujitsu again. And I looked up a gym. Oh no, my friend actually went to the gym before me, and
What person?
you don't know him. He wasn't here long. He was doing a
All right.
2 week trial,
All right.
and he told me the boxing coach was a dick. He was talking to the boxing. I was like, what? He was like, yeah. It was like, yeah, the boxing coach there's a dick. He was like, he only cares about the guys that are already good. Like he was like saying the boxing coach was a dick, and like, yeah, he was like, it was my first time doing it, and he was mad at me because I didn't do it right. He was like, man,
Yeah.
it's my first time. Like, why are you getting mad at me?
Yeah.
And after I kind of realized my friend, he's kind of sensitive.
Yeah.
He was a big dude. Like
Yeah.
he was bigger than me. He was a big dude, but he was kind of sensitive, to be
Yeah.
honest with you. But he was young. He was like 19, so he's a kid. So I was like, fuck. Well, I'm not going to that gym. The boxing coach is a dick. Like shit. So I decided not to come.
Mm.
So fast forward, I was like, yeah, let me try it over there because I really want to do jujitsu.
Yeah.
So I was like, maybe I could balance,
Uh-huh.
jujitsu and gym.
Yeah.
And so I came in one day, and Coach Manny, the guy he was talking about,
Oh my god.
Hey, Coach Manny, like, shout
Yeah.
out to Coach Manny. Coach Manny is actually a nice guy.
Yeah.
But the way he coaches,
Mhm.
like, if you're a sensitive guy, you're probably not gonna like you're
Yeah.
not gonna like him.
I feel like that's
Because
that for like.
he gives you tough love.
Yeah. There's only particular people who naturally, and it's not on purpose,
Yeah,
can naturally kind of cater to like more sensitive people.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Me, it's harder for me to because I make fucking faces or whatever. Where like I'll be like, yeah, that shit is stupid. You
yeah,
know, like, what you said is stupid, or what you're doing is stupid. How
mhm,
the fuck does that make sense? Like, I
yeah,
don't. I even do that with the kids. Like I don't say how the fuck does that make sense or whatever.
yeah,
But they'll ask me a question, right?
yeah,
And I was brought up where it was like you have to critically think about things. So they asked me a question, and they're asking me without thinking about it themselves or whatever. I was just
mhm,
look at them and be like, "You didn't really try to like solve that problem, did you?"
mhm.
Like, and they'd be like, "No." Like, and I'm like, "Well,
You're not gonna think for
think
him.
about what's going on." And like did it, and I had one student yesterday, and I know this is then off topic,
No,
but
you
I had
good.
one student yesterday, and we were going over arm bars, and he was asking and what an arm bar is,
Mhm,
because like I want them to like know exactly what exactly it is, not just
mhm,
positions in which to be able to get it. And so he was asking me in terms of like when you have a triangle arm bar, you're setting up a triangle arm bar, like
mhm,
which do you put it on, which shoulder do you put it on based off of where your legs are locked? And I
mhm,
was like, have you tried it? And he was
mhm,
like, no, I didn't try it. I was like, when you roll, tried it the triangle position, tried it the
mhm,
arm bar, put it on both sides and see what side you did it on, you know? But
mhm.
in that way, it's his laboratory where
Yeah,
he's able to come up with conclusions to questions that he has through trial and error
yeah,
versus me giving him all the answers. You know what I mean?
yeah,
In that way, I can have a student that actively thinking and learning, and so therefore he progresses way faster versus having to rely on me for all the answers. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's best to teach them how to think than teach them what to think.
Yeah,
I feel like if I had kids, that's how I would try to teach them.
yeah,
Like like the Earth goes around the sun, son. Like, why do you think that happens? Some shit like that, right?
yeah,
Because kids, they have a great mind because they see things that we don't. Because
yeah,
we're already conditioned to see the world a
yeah.
certain way.
They're
They're
open to
they're
absorb a
new
lot
sciences.
more,
Yeah.
you know. But if they're like your reality, a lot of it, even especially at our age, is
Mm-hmm.
based off of what you observe as a child. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
what people allow you to observe and open your mind up to. You know, if a child is taught that they can expand their mind and learn as much as they want to and critically think and think for themselves, all those different things, their mind want to expand that much more. And then
Mm-hmm.
they also won't fall into fucking traps like a lot of
Yeah.
other people, you know?
Yeah. Be a follower and shit. You want
Yeah.
to raise leaders and shit.
Yeah, not fucking cult followers. And I
Mm-hmm.
swear, like, it's funny because me and my we got completely off topic. We need to go back to your jiu-jitsu journey, but
Okay.
me and my younger brothers, we were joking last night at my parents' house, and we like, I was like, yo, I just realized yesterday how many fucking black cults I rub around, you know?
Black Colts.
Yeah, there's a good amount of them inside of Georgia, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and they probably like fucking hate me for calling their religion a cult or whatever. But
Yeah.
to me, it's like
Okay.
it's basically like a cult or whatever.
What religion is it?
So I think the Black Hebrew Israelites are a cult or whatever. It's
Yeah.
not just especially a lot of them or whatever.
You ever
Some
go to
of them are
Walmart?
more like religious. Some of them are more like cultish. You know what
You
I
ever go
mean?
to the Walmart right here on Willow Lane, where
Yeah.
like some Saturdays there'll be this guy, or be a group of guys with a
Uh,
bullhorn, and they'll just be like preaching sermons at you. Or
yeah.
they don't have a bullhorn; they have speakers,
Uh-huh.
and they'll be like Jesus, blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, we're just trying to get some eggs and
Yeah.
milk. Like, dude, like shut up. It's just like, why can't you just leave people alone? Like, how would you like if I came to your church and saying, "Well, this didn't happen. This ain't real."
Yeah.
Like that wouldn't be. That'd
Yeah.
be a big move. Like,
Yeah.
it's
I don't
like
know. My policy has always been like I'm always
let it
open.
live.
Yeah, and I like to listen to other people and what people believe in. I don't try to shut people's stuff down, but I don't like when people try to impose their beliefs on me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't believe for myself in following any type of any one religion. You
Hmm.
know, I believe in learning and expanding.
Hmm.
And it's funny because like I had a conversation with one of the earls I grew up with that I hadn't talked for a long time, and we were
Hmm.
testing back and forth. And she was telling me you need to do initiating in this and do this and this. And I was like, as I grew up around like
I would have blocked her right
E5 and
there.
stuff, and I was like, no, I don't need to do that. And I was like, yo, like I do. I was like, yo, I like doing what works for me. I do mushrooms. I'll do DM. Like I'm down for going and doing DMT or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm like, because that's directly to the source. Like I didn't see that shit or whatever.
Hmm.
It takes me there versus I have to rely on people telling me what to do and giving them a bunch of money or whatever for shit. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And so like sometimes that works for other people, but like for me it doesn't work. Like it's not there for me. And so like I was like, no, I don't need to. And she was like, no, you have to. And like acting like she was like worried for my like
Your
spirit
soul and stuff
and
like that.
soul and stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, these mushrooms told me I'm fine. And then she was like,
Oh,
you can't do mushrooms without like a trained priest. I was like, the mushrooms are a fucking trained priest. They know what they're talking about. Yeah.
but I was just thinking, I had this one little podcast thing with one of my friends. He told me this story that I literally couldn't stop laughing. So basically, he was with this one dude back in high school, this fake ass gangster and shit, and they were walking down the street, and there was this kid that rode their bus
Mm,
had had like the new iPhone at the time and
yeah.
shit, right? He was wearing headphones and shit. And they were like, he was like, "Hey man, you see that right there?" And he was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, I want that." He was like, "Wait, what the dude?" Like, no, 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 that
I want
phone.
that booty. Booty warrior.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go take it." He's like, "You got me?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I got you." He's like, he didn't know what he meant by that, but like, okay. So he goes up to him like, "Hey man, you know the time?" He's like, "What? You know the time?" And he's looking at the phone. He's like, bam, cold, clean out, like go stiff, you know. Takes his phone, his headphones, and my boy's like, "Oh shit! Like what the fuck?" He's
Yeah.
taking shit like, bro, like what's? He looking at him like, bro, what's
Yeah.
wrong? Wrapping the shit up, and bro, let's bounce the fuck out of here. And apparently the dude didn't recognize him,
Uh-huh.
didn't recognize my friend or the dude who knocked the fuck out. Probably didn't remember the whole situation, honestly. And so my friend Tony, by the way,
Uh-huh.
a few weeks later, he decided to talk to him, and he has his whole mouth like wired shut because
Damn.
apparently I guess he broke his jaw. His whole mouth was
Huh.
wired shut, and he's like, "Hey man," he's like, "What happened?" The dude, the dude says, "I got robbed." I got robbed. He opened his mouth. I got robbed. That was so fucking hilarious to me.
That shit is slick.
But yeah,
Yeah.
going back to how I started jiu-jitsu, Coach Manny was actually doing a private lesson with
Yeah.
somebody, and asked him, I want to do the da da. He's like, sign me up, and so I went to my first class was a no gi class because I didn't have a gi at the time.
Mm.
But you guys were actually preparing for a tournament in LA, so you guys were doing gi for the morning for some
Yeah.
reason. So
Yeah, I remember that.
you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was right before COVID hit. It was
Yeah.
February 12th,
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. And yeah, so I come to class and I'm just like saying hello to everybody. Hey, how you doing? Not being like most new
Yeah.
people, how they're
Uh-huh.
just like,
Yeah, he's not shy.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I knew about the jujitsu community, they're very friendly. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna be friendly too. Say hello,
Yeah.
how you doing? Kind of went out of my comfort zone and stuff. And I think people kind of took that like, whoa, people don't have act like this on their first day. They normally not. And
Yeah.
I remember we started doing the warm ups, we were jogging and stuff, and I was like, I can do these warm ups. This shit ain't too bad.
Yeah.
Like shit, I work out all the time. It's fine. And it wasn't until we were doing the bear crawls,
Yeah, the bear
and
crawl sit outs.
n-
Yeah.
no, it was a bear
It was
crawl
just bear.
push. Cause we weren't doing
Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
we were doing the bear
Yeah,
crawl, then 10 push-ups and nine
yeah,
push-ups. Dude, that shit killed me, man.
yeah.
I
It
was
was
just like,
fucking killing me. I
fuck.
remember Chris had me do it every fucking practice leading up to because it was going to be Pan American Championships,
Yeah,
and I felt so fucking on point because
yeah,
I would train in gi so much, you know. And I was like, yo, I'm gonna do so good or whatever. And then they were like, yeah, our flights were canceled. And I was like, because of COVID and everything. I
yeah,
was like, oh, what the fuck? Like, that shit
yeah,
sucked so bad. I
yeah,
went from training like every fucking day to trying to like find training partners. I would like hit up a ton of people at the beginning of the week. I did like two people that would like train with me like twice a week or whatever, and that's it most of the
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sucky time. I think it was like around March or something where
Hmm.
y'all shut down the gym and everything.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck. Have you gotten COVID?
Every single time I tested, I'm testing that too. But
You
I
gotten the
think,
vaccine?
no, I didn't get vaccine. But I do think I got it like back. So before it like got big, one of the
Mm.
dudes here went to China and then he went somewhere else. And
Goddamn.
when he came back, he was sick as fuck, you know? And he said he was even like coughing up blood, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And then after he came back to the gym, a bunch of us got sick for like 2 weeks. And we felt like I felt horrible. Like that was
Yeah,
like one of the worst I ever felt or whatever.
yeah,
And that time period was when I think I got it. But it was like right before they like started like it got big, you know?
yeah. Because it actually started in 2019,
Hmm.
like around I think December or
Yeah,
something, and that's why they got the COVID-19 because it started in
yeah,
2019.
yeah. We got sick around January from it.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I've gotten it actually around my birthday, unfortunately. So I
Yeah.
didn't really do anything for my birthday. Not this birthday,
Hmm.
but a year ago birthday, when I turned 27. And I was, out of here for 2 weeks. And it sucked because I had chills. I had all the symptoms,
Yeah.
loss of taste, da, da, da. And I remember when I got back, you guys were talking about a fucking white belt tournament. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh,
Word.
okay, white belt, that sounds cool. Da, da, I
Yeah.
might do that. And I was like, I might not, da, da, da. And
He fucking hurt us. He's feeling so bad.
who, me? Nah, man. Aziz, my brother, bro. Bro, listen,
How you do that to the man?
listen. To be honest, bro, there'd be a lot of days, man. I wish he would have won it, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
sometimes, cause I be feeling like there'd be some people. I'm not gonna say their names or anything, but there'd be some people here in this gym where they feel like my blue belt wasn't earned. You know what I mean? And I felt like that too on a lot of occasions. I even went to Professor Chris about it, and he told me, I put that blue belt around your waist.
Yeah.
All right. If anybody has a problem with uh, what I did, he said something. If anybody has a problem with what I did, they have a problem with me
Yeah.
because he's saying
It's
you
his
went through,
decision.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you went through the
Harness that he put
the
in place.
yeah, and
Yeah.
the what's that word, the gallop or
Basically
the
a gauntlet.
yeah, the gauntlet
Yeah.
to get in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And even though yeah, he said there and everything, like as time went on, it was just like, there's always these sly remarks and shit like that. And sometimes it's like shit, if Aziz would have won that, it'd been great for him. And I could just, I'd probably be like a four strike white belt right
Yeah.
now. And, I could just, gotten it that way, got the test and nobody would say anything, but nobody could take away that moment from me because that
Yeah.
was one of the greatest moments of my life.
Yeah.
Because I came off of 2 weeks of COVID,
Yeah.
not work, not doing anything, but just being sick.
Yeah.
And I decided to work out the whole week leading up to that Saturday
Yeah.
to win that tournament.
Yeah.
I said, "Fuck this shit! I'm winning this fucking tournament."
Yeah.
I was working out. I was getting that little bike shit. I was rolling like a motherfucker. I didn't miss a single day. I wanted to get
Yeah.
my cardio all the way
Yeah.
back up. So that Saturday, and I remember that Friday, I was rolling with I forgot his name. The big dude. I forgot his name though. He's like three something. You know what I mean?
No.
Big dude. I forgot his name. It's not Sean. It's
Is it a white guy?
yeah,
Aaron?
Aaron. Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just Aaron like he had like 200 pounds on me, so he was just fucking me up. And I told you, bro, I was just like, bro, how am I gonna win this tournament, bro? Aaron's just fucking me up.
Yeah.
And then he said so, and I told him I was going to the tournament. He was like, bro, you're gonna win that tournament.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, yeah, you're right. And when I got there, I was just like, bro, like, all I have to do is beat this person. Just beat this person. They ain't gonna beat this person. And I remember there was one point where my forearms were just
they burned out.
Yeah, they burned out, and I was just like, I was talking to Professor Chad, and I was like, my forearms are like, I can't feel them. He was like, yeah, just wave your hands up. Just wave your hands.
Get the blood back flowing to
him, Yeah. And I remember when the final round when I was with Aziz, and we were standing up there. I was just like, I was kind of proud of the moment. It's like, yeah, two black guys, we're here. I was kind of proud. Like, yeah,
one of y'all should have done it.
Yeah. And we're going and everything.
Yeah.
And there's this point where I kept on shooting for triangles. Aziz kept on messing up and having one arm in, one arm out.
Yeah.
So I kept on shooting for triangles, and he kept on, getting out of it. And there was one time I went for it, and he kind of got out of it, and I went to a omoplata.
Yeah.
And I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
Man. Like, I mean, you know the feeling. Luckily, I'm somebody that knows. I was so exhausted. I was holding on to, I was holding on to his sleeve, trying to just work my way up so I can grab his waist all the way to finish it. I was like, my tank just felt completely empty. I couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
And he works his way out of it. He goes to, I remember he went to my side. I went back to half guard, went back to full guard. And there's one point where I shoot up a triangle again, and he stands up with it. And I see his leg, and I'm going for the leg. And Professor Chad says, pull his leg, get his leg. And Professor Chad today will say, like, oh, I told him to do it. Like, no, all right. We had the idea at the same time. All right. All right. So I go for his leg.
Yeah.
I hook the leg. I'm locking the triangle. I was like, I pull the head down, and he taps. And I was just like, oh my God, it's over.
Yeah.
I was so happy that it was over. Yeah. And then I was just like, I just got and I just embraced Aziz because it was a fucking battle. It was a fucking war.
Yeah.
And I just embraced him like, bro, because we both we both fought our hardest out there.
Yeah. I mean, me truthfully, I thought the right person won.
Yeah.
I thought, truthfully, that I was worried for both of y'all getting y'all blue belts, right? Especially if y'all wanted to compete. Because, like, I didn't think y'all were ready to get your blue belt competing wise, but I think he was less ready than you. And I think the only advantage that he had was having that wrestling base. But his jiu-jitsu was not on that next level. And which it showed by him being triangled and you setting up the triangle, when you having that ability to be able to set up the triangle. So me, I was like, well, he did it now, but there's going to be a grace period where it's going to be like a learning curve, which it really happens with almost everybody at a belt. I mean, when I got my brown belt beforehand, I was like, holy shit, like, I don't want to dip this shit or whatever yet, And now, like, I went through like a learning curve, and I think that I actually had it in my head too when I went and I trained with particular people, where I was like wondering whether or not they thought I actually deserved mine too as well, and no matter what people say, and so like me, I try to say, well, it's not up to me. And it's not up to us as students to say and assess what our level is. It's up to our professors to say that and like trust them in knowing what level we are or whatever and what requirements we need to go through in order to get to that next level too. Because like they say, like a freaking black belt is just a white belt that never gave up. And so like if you didn't give up, you secured the triangle and then you got to the next level or whatever. But it's a fucking learning process anyway, so they're constantly going to be developing and stuff too, And I think that this actually reminds me of like even my process of being a like I think mentally a better teammate or even in a better coach. And so for me, instead of like hyper focus on what people like don't know or don't like, instead of doing that, hyper focus on helping people develop a lot more. You know what I mean? Helping,
Mm,
and then also seeing that I have a lot of flaws and I need like I can see how other people can help me develop too as well.
yeah,
And so like even when I teach, however, I try to be like a lot more lighthearted. I like to see everybody's shame and just try to like show jujitsu and then learn jujitsu from everybody else. Because like no matter what, like even now I'm like I used to be so gun ho and wanted it my black belt. And I'm like, no matter what, how much I learn or whatever, like I'm like, I don't want to be a black belt right now. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And it's like there's so much more I want to like learn and consume beforehand. But not only that, if somebody gave it to me like in a year or so, I will still have a like it's me.
you
I'm
still have
like
a
I'm going back
focus.
to having that white belt mentality where
Yeah,
I'm just constantly a student. You know?
yeah. That's I remember when I be rolling with you,
Hmm.
like I always felt like you should have been a higher belt because like sometimes I roll with some purple belts and I'd be like, oh, I would do
Yeah,
not as much mediocre, but
yeah,
when I roll with you, it's like, you know, it's like a kid versus full
yeah,
on adult because you just
yeah.
fuck me up every single time, and I was just like, damn. I remember one time we were rolling
Hmm.
and it was just roll the entire 6 minutes no matter what, and you would just leg lock, leg lock, and I would just keep getting up because I just kept on thinking
Yeah,
that fall down eight, pick stand up nine type thing.
yeah.
I was just like, fuck. And there was at one point, I think it was like the sixth or seventh time you
Uh-huh.
submitted me. You just started laughing when I got up. It's like, fuck you, man. Come on, let's go.
But that's how it like that's how you're supposed to be that.
Yeah,
Like you fail until you succeed. Like you know how many times like that happened to me too, and that still happens to me. Where like I have where people I train with where it's like they fuck me up every single time. I'm like, okay, like I just need to last a little bit longer. I just need to last a little bit longer. And that's how you did better, like the incremental thing, like the
yeah,
small little bits. But if you just so focused on the grand or whatever, you get frustrated. You're like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like the small victories help out a lot. You know?
yeah.
Yeah. Like I fucking like, and then like,
You ever had your ego ever came into play? Like you ever went with somebody lower, just like let me just go with some a lower rank just to make myself feel better, and then go with the higher ranks to fuck me up.
not really. I tried to like. My mindset is like I can get fucked up by anybody if I'm not on my shit. You know?
Yeah,
Like there's
yeah. I hate to make
there
this all about jujitsu, but yeah.
yeah. I have to actually leave in a second, but
Oh,
there's this white belt. Shout out this white belt from Tech Planet named Kevin. This
I
dude
think
is
something about him.
yeah, this dude is like good for like really good for a white belt. Like it
Mm,
makes no sense, you know what I mean? But a lot of those guys are really good for their belt level where it makes no sense.
mm,
But the reason why he's so good is he just picks up. I think he picks up on jujitsu, on what jujitsu actually is very quickly. You know, like his
mm,
guard game is not like your like it's not an average guard game you've seen for a white belt at all. You
mm.
know, in
Open
terms of
guard or close?
open guard.
Mm,
Yeah, like it's not super simple to pass his guard because of how he structured his legs and his upper body on how to do things. You know what I mean?
mm,
And so like I went with him or whatever, and I think I got like I can't. This is why I don't believe in the last days or with anybody. Not saying like his level is lower than mine or this, that, and the other. But I got last today with my leg placement for a quick set, and he has this setup that he does from shin on shin guard.
mm,
Like he hit that setup, and I had a shin on shin, and before I was defending shin on shin with other people,
mm,
and I did a little bit lazy, he fucking locked my leg up and fucking I think he heel hooked me
mm.
or whatever, and I was like, fuck.
Fuck. He's like, fuck.
And I think that happened this week too. And I
Yeah,
was like, God damn it. But I do that, like, and I was just like, I'll do that. And I did call it. I'm like, God damn it, or whatever. Like, you dumbass density or whatever.
yeah.
But, like, that's why, like,
He got a tap.
huh?
He got the tap.
Yeah, like, if somebody has something, I'll fucking tap to it
Yeah.
or whatever. But then I was like, hey, next time I owe him, I need to like be on my shit, and that's why I
Right.
try to always be on my shit with people. I
Mm-hmm.
don't try to like underestimate or overestimate people.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to owe in doing jujitsu properly, no matter who I roll with. I feel like that helps me even mentally go into competition where I'm thinking less who's better, but just who knows more jujitsu or who can execute jujitsu more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When that happens, because like we're not fighting each other like each other. We're not fighting
Each
each
other's
other like
brains.
attributes. We're more so fighting like ca- capabilities to be able to execute jujitsu. And when you think of it, I feel like when you think of it that way, it
Mm-hmm.
causes you to do more jujitsu versus just like fighting and roll. And then you're super technical, and then you're able to hit shit, and it looks almost like magic or whatever. That's when everything looks cool and shit. But it's
Yeah.
like the real shit, and they put that fake shit in movies or whatever. But it's that real shit that look cool, you
Yeah.
know?
John Wick was doing. I don't know if you ever watched those. Every guy watched those John
Yeah,
Wick movies, but he was doing some little bit of jujitsu
yeah. He
in the
trained with the
movie.
Machado brothers. A lot
Yeah.
of
What belt
like
rank is
Hollywood.
is he?
I don't know.
He's like
He
purple and
probably
blue.
like at least a blue belt now. When he was doing the first John Wick, he was a white belt. Yeah, but he done like other martial arts,
Yeah.
before. But then he like I said, the Machado brothers work with a lot of like famous people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to them for like jujitsu and everything. Yeah, which is cool for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really did enjoy doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It's really fun, and
Yeah.
plus, you pop that cherry out of the way, you get the nerves out, cause you was like, oh, we got talk. I was actually gonna write something down, like
Yeah.
some topics, but I was
Yeah.
just like, man, I didn't have anything else. Shit, let's just talk about random shit.
People ask me that too. Like, do you like have particular things you want to like touch on and stuff in it? Not really, because
Yeah.
I like it being open ended because things naturally come out from somebody in terms
Hmm.
of what like they. It's just a natural conversation. And like going back to Joe, like, I'm a big fan of his, but he was like, people are like a podcast is people basically sitting in on a conversation you have with somebody, you
Yeah.
know. So I wanted to be more of a conversation. If you want to bring up particular things and let me know, I'm like, cool. I always like learning, you
Yeah.
know. But it's like I'm not going to like purposely ask anybody questions, no matter who they are. Like if Donna Hurt comes in here, I'm not gonna be like, "How do you do the Ezekiel project?" It's not fucking like instructional.
Yeah, don't ever like it would
I want
probably
to
be most
learn
just be about
more of who
jujitsu.
he is or whatever and how he naturally
That
is.
man's
Like,
a psychopath.
yeah,
Like, dude, like, did you hear? Like, like, all he does when he go home is just watch fighting videos or
yeah,
other. Like, he doesn't have no girlfriend,
yeah,
he's just like that
yeah.
dude. That man
He's
killed.
obsessed.
That,
He's
yeah.
he's highly addicted.
Do you know the proper way? Like, he just like stare at you, and like you just feel something to me. Like kill me right now. Like, so funny.
It'd be the funniest thing ever. Like one of his instructionals, while he's like being super serious and has that face,
Yeah.
he's just fucking farts.
Dude, I actually wanted to fart. Like when we started, I was like,
Yeah,
"Shit, I'm gonna fart." Like I'm just trying to lean, just like, well, but what if it's loud?
yeah.
And then the camera picks it up. I actually wanted to fart earlier, but
Nah,
it
I
wasn't
wouldn't
like,
even care. I had this one instructor, like when I was a teenager, he used to actually fart in my face.
dude. Today, like when you were demonstrating that
Yeah, the Kimura or
the
whatever.
Kimura, you on top of me. I was like, your ass is just right there,
Yeah.
and I was looking at the soles of your feet, and I was like, bro, like his soles are like really dirty. I see hair. I see like, bro, like what are you stepping on? Your feet are so dirty.
I
Like,
don't
what if you
know.
just like stepped on me right now?
Yeah, it probably would have your shit.
What the fuck,
I
man?
don't know what I did or whatever. I need to wipe my feet off probably before stepping on the
Yeah.
mat then. But at least fucking check them. I fucking hate when people walk into the bathroom or walk outside and then try to come
Yeah.
back inside like you're
Like,
fucking just outside. What the fuck's wrong with you?
yeah, your faces be like
Right
like pressed
there.
on the mat and shit. You got your
Yeah,
feet
and
on
it's
there.
like, you're trying to give somebody something. I don't want
Yeah.
nothing you got coming from the outside. The outside world is fucked up.
So what were you doing on 9/11?
I was at school in Washington D.C. and we saw the smoke because we were like we were outside at
Oh
school and
yeah,
we saw
DC
the
is not
smoke
that.
from D.C.
Yeah, DC is not really that far from New York, is it? Yeah.
No, It's not at all. What are you doing?
I was at school, I believe, and people were talking about and stuff, and I was just like, oh shit, that's fucked up. Um, I remember where I was when Sandy Hook
Mm.
happened too. I was also at school, and people were talking about it. Like, there's this guy that just went to elementary school. And it's like, damn, like what the fuck? I was
Yeah.
just like, I mean, to me, I kind of feel like even though more people died in
Uh-huh.
9/11, I kind of feel like Sandy Hook was a little bit worse.
Worse. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like children and stuff,
Yeah.
and like one side tried to politicize it, the other side also tried to politicize it to say like, oh, it's just, but I was just like, damn. I remember they got mad at Obama for crying. You remember that shit?
No, I don't remember that.
Because
But
Obama was talking about it and he started crying, and then got and like, well, not the left, the right got mad at
yeah,
him for
I
crying.
understand why like people cry or something like that. People like pass away. Period. It's like
Yeah,
it's chilling. I mean, some maybe you have to experience somebody you know dying in order to be able to understand what that's like or whatnot.
yeah,
But like death is serious, and I think that one of the things I think I talked to Chris Harris about is I don't think people understand how much people died in the past, or rarely compared to now.
yeah,
And even though it's not like talked about as much, like there's an amount of people that still die every day, but it's
hmm,
still not as much, and it's still not as crazy too as well. And I think that we have to value the less there's like people just dying for no fight, like dying for like retarded reasons.
yeah. Like, you ever thought about like suicide?
Oh yeah, I have.
Yeah,
From a long time growing up, I was like very much considering, you
yeah,
know, I think it was the possibility and like the idea of death or whatever that kept me from it. But it was so much stuff where it felt more enticing to end versus be here. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Especially because of like how like a lot of people treated me or whatever. I just
yeah,
felt unwanted. You know what I mean?
yeah. So,
Yeah, like and
boys.
I don't mean like yeah, bullies and as being dyslexic and fat is not a good combination. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And you had like and I had a speech impediment too, so
yeah,
like all those things are like fuel for the fight and fire.
yeah.
You
To
know?
like just deal with the pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was a kid, like mostly in high school, I was thinking about it, contemplating it.
Hmm.
But the number one thing that stopped me from doing it was my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
cause I
was
was,
me. Like it was like my family or whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't give a fuck with my dad, but
Yeah.
my mom, I was just like, I know if I die, like it would just
Yeah.
kill
Well.
her. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So I stuck around for her.
Yeah.
Um,
Sometimes you need that. You have to have like an anchor that holds you here.
yeah,
To keep you wanting to be here.
yeah,
Which is wild when people don't have that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who was
yeah,
like that shit gets taken away from them completely.
yeah. Because I wasn't all musky like this when I was a kid. I was like I was regular.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? When I was elementary school, I was fat,
Yeah.
but when I got to seventh grade, I became regular because we were doing these 2 minute jogs, 1 minute
Yeah.
walks, and Eagles Landing, but like in school and shit.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, I had to deal with a lot of bullies.
Yeah.
But for being African,
Yeah.
being different, the shit. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I've
went
heard a
through
lot
that.
of the shit.
Yeah, you know what the sad thing was?
Hmm.
It never came from white people.
Yeah. It probably mostly
Mm,
came from black
it
people.
always came from black. A
Yeah.
white person would never say that type of stuff,
Yeah.
only because they would like to learn more. Like, oh, really? You're from Africa?
Yeah.
Da da da. But black people, they would say stuff like, "Oh, you live in huts and ate
Yeah.
ate shit," and
Yeah.
I would get made fun of for being African and stuff.
Yeah.
To a point, I wouldn't even tell people I'm African.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is fucking sad because even more sad it comes from black people because black people are African or like
yeah,
originate from Africa. And I
yeah,
think that there's like growing up, we talked like my parents talked a lot about like black like self hate, you
yeah,
know, and how there's so much black self hate or whatever, and there's not praise and love for like who we are and where we come from and everything like that, and it's always us
yeah,
trying to either make fun of where we're at or like try to act like we're from somewhere else or act like we're something else and this that and the other, and trying to be closer to something else too to be able to find value in ourselves because we don't want to just be fucking slaves that have
yeah,
brought over here from Africa, you know? And so it's like it's a real like kind of like a mind fuck or whatever going
Yeah.
on. And like I knew like even that too in terms of like because I have West African names, if somebody didn't roll up like how I roll up, they were like fucking up the name on purpose,
Yeah.
this, that, and the other. It's
Yeah.
like why the fuck were you doing it? And like you said, it'd be like black people or whatever,
Yeah.
you know? But it's like,
Yeah.
yo, like you doing this shit just make you like look bad, but then it's like you running away from your past too, which
Mhm.
isn't fucking bad to look towards and like be able to praise, but it's like then you're going to take out. I feel like it's too much shit on children, you know.
Yeah.
It's like one way, one thing or another, and that's one like it's fucked up when you have like a child who that their environment or what's going on puts in their head that they don't want to be here, you know, and live out the experience that they were owed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like me kind of being me being a non-believer in the great surveillance camera in the sky
Yeah.
is a little bit of why I'm still here
Uh-huh.
because like I don't want to go to that eternal nothingness
Yeah.
and just but at the same time it's just like you know some people that don't understand suicide they don't
Mhm.
understand like, why do you want to kill yourself like
Yeah.
oh, there's so much here and stuff. It's just like you don't understand the pain of just doing. You know,
Yeah.
I stand on I teeter on both sides of
Yeah.
understanding it
Mhm.
and not wanting it to happen at the same
Yeah.
time. It's just like life is hard. You know,
Yeah.
dying is easy, but
Yeah.
life is
It's hard.
hard,
Yeah.
and it sometimes it can be so hard to the point of just like man,
Yeah. Fuck
like
it.
there's only one. You know, you gotta
Yeah.
tap out. You know, it's like
Yeah.
somebody got that a fully locked
Yeah.
choke on you, but you know, you can't get out of that darce.
The craziest thing is like what makes it like I say all the time we have worlds within our own heads, you
Yeah,
know, and that world within your head can is very much stronger than the world outside the head. But then the world outside can cause the world inside to be so crazy. But if
yeah,
the world inside is like calm, cool, and collected, the world outside, no matter what's going on, is not as bad, you know.
mm,
But that's the thing is like how do you train your mind to have that and be happy within yourself while going through all the shit? How do you like find value in yourself if the image of things outside of you is telling you what they see as shit? You know what I
yeah,
mean?
and
And then,
then yeah, you start internalizing that, and like even my girlfriend, like she calls me handsome all the time
mm,
and stuff like that. And I say thank you because I, you know, I honestly believe she thinks I'm handsome and
yeah,
stuff. But in my head, it's like, I look like shit. The
yeah,
fuck? What do you see in me?
yeah. I feel the same. I feel the same way. Like whenever I do a compliment like that, but then like my younger sister says she thinks I have body dysmorphia.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and it's like no matter what, I like feel like I'm fat. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Because I was fat for so long, called
mm,
fat, this, that, and the other. And no matter what I look like in my head, I'm like, damn, I'm fucking fat and I'm fucking ugly. You know what I mean? And
mm,
so it's like that's just like embedded, and it takes a long time to how to reprogram yourself. You
yeah.
know, to believe certain things.
You ever tried therapy?
No, I've considered it before.
It's so expensive.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like there's a way.
Fuck with mushrooms.
You said what? Mushroom. Yeah, yeah. I do need to do mushrooms again, man.
Yeah,
I did it once, and I told you the story,
yeah.
but I need to do it again.
I feel
It's
like so. I feel like they're so powerful in terms of what they can do to reprogram the mind. You know,
yeah,
and I feel like if we concentrate on certain things and when our mind is expanded, we can help quicker. I mean, make the healing process that much faster. But one thing that like Justin Gaines talked to me about
yeah.
is like one of the books, and I do have to end it in like 4 minutes. But
Okay, yeah, do your thing.
one of the books, right? He talked to me about before is called The Body Keeps the Score, right? And he
Mm,
talks about how we store trauma within our body, right?
mm.
And a lot of times we try to heal ourselves by talking through things, through medication.
Talking to yourself and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but he was like, then it feels like it's still there because it's still like a part of that memory is stored within like a muscle in your body or a nervous system, like a nerve in your body. I'm gonna have him on he and talk more like in depth in terms of exactly what it is. But
Mm-hmm.
so like he used to have me work a lot of my inner thighs. And he was saying a lot of people inner thighs are underdeveloped because you don't try to go there because they can cause emotional signaling that cause you to feel emotional shit from when you were a kid,
Mm-hmm.
like trauma from when you were a kid. So my fucking inner thighs were not developed. They were like fucked up. You know what I mean?
You mean
Um,
like the machine where you like put the thing and then you close your legs type
yeah,
shit?
similar to that. He would have me do a lot of Bulgarian split squats, and I fucking hated it or whatever. And I will always turn my leg out, causing me to use the outside of my thigh versus the inside of my thigh.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was able to get through it, and I had my knee in, and I was like utilizing my inner thigh. And afterwards, I walked over and I started busting out crying.
Really?
Yeah, like
Uh,
literally, was crying, and it was a it was a good cry too because like I cut myself off from crying growing up because
oh
I
yeah.
was a fucking crybaby,
Right. Yeah,
and
crying is good for you.
yeah, it helps you heal. There's
Yeah.
actually this one priest, and he said like his people, I forget where he's from. Um, I forget what country he's from, but his people do like a ritual
Mm-hmm.
where at least twice a year, all the men come together and they all have to cry. It's like a requirement because it's like whatever shit you're going through, you have to release it. You can't hold that shit in. They're like if men hold that shit in, it will cause negative effects on
Yeah.
society. You
Yeah.
know?
Especially on how they abuse their, you know, girlfriends or like their loved ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the way your parents talk to you,
Hmm.
like if they're abusive towards you, da da da, you're gonna be abusive towards your loved ones
Yeah.
too. And sometimes I can see myself being like my dad,
Yeah.
like if I'm with my girlfriend and stuff. And luckily, I have this self recognition that I see what I'm doing, and I try to nip it in the bud. Like,
Yeah.
let me not do that,
Yeah.
and try to, not continue
Yeah.
the circus. How his dad treated him. Da, da, da.
Yeah. It's my dad talked a lot about intergenerational transmission and how it can be good and bad.
Yeah.
And my parents used to talk about how like it's almost like we did embed it with good and bad things within our DNA from people that came before us. And like I didn't even recognize how much I'm like my dad until I was older. Because
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not like my dad, and
Yeah.
this, that, and the
I
other.
used to be the same way.
You
Like, I'm not gonna
know?
be like that nigga. Like, shit, I won't be. And then it's like,
And
what?
then you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like
Yeah.
I did this like him.
Yeah. And
And
it's like the
so
old saying goes, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
no,
And that
even
saying's not there for no reason.
no. And you have to like you say, you have to recognize those things.
Yeah.
So the good things you keep and the bad things you can help throw away,
Yeah.
so that your fucking kids don't do the same damn thing as much. And it's weird programming. What?
He said, "I was just wondering, like, your fucking kids don't do the same thing. Your fucking kids."
Well, we don't want to be fucking kids, okay?
Yeah. He's like, I got dark humor like a
Oh my
mother.
god, none of that shit. I thought you were more
uh,
so saying like when your kids fuck, they don't fuck bad. They're a good fuck. Every person that fuck with them was like, damn.
you ever want kids?
Yeah, eventually, but like I don't want. I want to wait until like a
Do
good while after I did my black
you
belt.
remember when, I don't know if I'm gonna get too personal, was it a credit scare?
Oh yeah,
You remember that with that person?
yeah. I
Okay.
fucking knew that wasn't mine though.
Okay. I was making sure. I remember you talking about it with the professor, and I was like, the
That's
cats
John.
in the cradle of the silver spoon.
Nah, that baby came out hella Asian.
Okay.
Like later on
On the
too, I
Maury
was
show.
like, later on too, I was like, I can't even be mad at homeboy. He fucking saved my life.
Oh shit.
He probably is like, yo, guess you don't like me and shit. No, I'm like, I
I
actually
love
like
you.
you more than other people. You fucking saved my life, man. I fucking owe you a like that. I'm your fucking Jar Jar Binks,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Oh man, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was probably like one of the dumbest shit ever.
You
Yeah,
gotta be careful with that thing,
but I have to close it out for
man.
today.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like the other two people, have hit like Francis on the end. Thank you for doing it.
Anytime, brother.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to make a shout out to anybody. Shout out to my brother Aziz.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably my favorite training partner.
Yeah.
Probably Aziz and fuck. I'm trying to think somebody else. Oh, Danny
Yeah.
and Chaz.
Yeah. Danny is a good one. I'm about to
Yeah.
say, don't lie and say me. I'm not a fucking
Oh
good
yeah.
training partner.
DT. I like DT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dennis is real good. He's real cool to train with. I
Yeah,
like
he's real cool.
Louise
I
a
need him to be
lot.
more aggressive though. I need him to be more aggressive.
See, that's the difference between me
Sometimes he
and
be
you.
too
I
cool.
don't fucking like that aggressive shit.
No, I don't mean like sometimes he be too cool, like moving
Yeah,
too
like
slow.
too slow.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
need him to be like
Yeah, more
motherfucker,
assertive.
like yo,
Yeah, less
I'm doing.
nervous.
Yeah,
Uh,
but
shout out to my sponsors, Tim Stout and Associates, the best real estate company and down here in the South, and then Hero Roofing too as well. If you have any roofing needs, go to your Hero Roofing. If you're in the Noonan area, hope all y'all have a good one.
wait, can I make one more
Yeah,
advertisement?
yeah.
If you're in need of hair braiding, check out Jackie's Hair Braiding in Stockbridge.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That's not super
yeah,
hair
it's right on the same plaza as
Yeah.
Olympia Pizza across from the Walmart and on 138.
It's so good. We might get some wigs just to get our fucking hair braided, or grow out our beards or whatever, and have our beards braided and shit. I actually need somebody with a lock beard to actually look good. All right, see y'all later.